Have you ever felt unlucky? Like you're always picking the wrong person to trust? Have you ever given someone your all, only to have them abandon you when you needed the most? What if these aren't accidents? What if they are failures in understanding power? The 48 Laws of Power aren't just ancient history. They are a rule book for the game being played around you right now, in your office, in your social circle, and on the world stage. In our first video, we covered the foundations. Today, we're diving deep into the most critical laws for social survival and influence, laws 10 through 20. From avoiding the unhappy and unlucky to the art of strategic absence, this is the masterclass you can't afford to miss. By the end of this video, you won't just see the world differently, you'll know exactly how to navigate it. Let's begin. Law 10. Infection. Avoid the unhappy and unlucky. Ask yourself, who in your life drains you? Is there someone who, after every interaction, you feel worse, not better? What steps can you take starting today to create strategic distance? This law is about emotional and social infection. Robert Greene warns that emotions are as contagious as diseases. Misery doesn't just love company, it needs it to survive. When you associate with people who are perpetually negative, chaotic, or see themselves as victims, you will be dragged down by their emotional baggage. Their problems will become your problems. Their bad luck will become your bad luck. Example: think about your own social circle. We all know that one person who, every time you talk to them, leaves you feeling drained, pessimistic, and anxious. Or think about a business partnership. If your co-founder is constantly in a state of crisis, blaming others for their failures and making rash decisions, they will infect the entire company, sinking it before it ever has a chance. Power-conscious individuals are ruthless about quarantining these sources of infection. They protect their time and emotional energy at all costs. Law 11. Learn to keep people dependent on you. Do you have a unique skill that makes you irreplaceable? Are you currently giving away all your knowledge for free? Or are you cultivating a skill that people must come to you for? This is the ultimate law of job security. To maintain your independence, you must make others dependent on you. The more they rely on you, the more freedom you have. Never teach them everything you know. If you are the only source of a critical skill, a key piece of information, or a vital relationship, you are indispensable. They cannot get rid of you, even if they want to. Example: this isn't just about the one IT guy who knows the legacy code no one else understands. Think about a top-tier consultant or a fixer. They don't just solve a problem. They become the only person who can manage the complex web of relationships they've built. They make themselves the keystone of the arch. If you remove them, the whole thing collapses. Law 12. Use selective honesty and generosity to disarm your victim. When has a small, unexpected act of kindness made you too trusting of someone? How can you learn to appreciate a kind gesture without letting it blind you? One single act of honesty or kindness can mask dozens of deceptive moves. When you are known as a ruthless or cunning person, a surprising act of goodwill throws people off. It shatters their expectations and lowers their guard. Greene describes this as the Trojan horse of power. A calculated gift or a moment of vulnerability makes you appear human and trustworthy, creating the opening you need. Example: a corporation is caught in a massive environmental scandal. What do? They suddenly make a huge, very public donation to a children's hospital. The media covers their generosity and the public's anger is softened. This single, generous act buys them time, distracts from the core issue, and reframes their public image. Law 13. When asking for help, appeal to people's self-interest, never to their mercy or gratitude. Think about the last time you needed a big favor. Did you lead with your need or their potential gain? How will you change your ask next time?
This is one of the most critical and misunderstood laws. When you need help, do not remind people of your past good deeds. Do not appeal to their compassion. People are far more concerned with their own problems. If you want someone to do something, you must frame your request so that they see a clear benefit for themselves. Example: you're pitching your startup to an investor. The wrong way, mercy. Please, I've worked so hard on this. This is my life's dream. The right way, self-interest. My data shows a 10x growth potential in an untapped market. An investment from you now will give you a 40% equity stake in what will be a $50 million company. Law 14. Pose as a friend, work as a spy. Are you talking too much in your professional and social life? How much vital information are you missing simply because you're not actively listening? Knowledge is power, but how do you get it? By appearing to be an ally. In a casual, friendly conversation over coffee, people will reveal their weaknesses, their plans, their ambitions, and their enemies. By posing as a friend, you make them feel comfortable. You listen more than you talk. You ask indirect questions. All the while, you are gathering invaluable intelligence. Example: this is the entire basis of modern corporate networking. That friendly drink after work or the game of golf with a competitor isn't just for fun. It's a gold mine. So, what's the real feeling in your department about this merger? Is your boss really happy in his role? This is polite, friendly espionage. Law 15. Crush your enemy totally. This law feels harsh, but in your career or business, where have you seen someone let an enemy go or show mercy, only to have that person sabotage them later? This is perhaps the most brutal-sounding law. Green's logic is this: if you leave even one ember from a fire, it will eventually restart. If you defeat an enemy but leave them with the resources to recover, they will not learn a lesson. They will only learn to hate you, and they will wait for the perfect moment for revenge. Mercy and second chances in the game of power often come back to haunt you. Example: look at the platform wars in tech. When a company like Amazon, Google, or Apple enters a new market, they don't just try to coexist. They leverage their entire ecosystem to undercut, outspend, and completely dominate or acquire the competition. They don't just want to beat their rivals, they want to make it impossible for them to ever be a threat again. Law 16. Use absence to increase respect and honor. In our world of constant 24/7 connection, how can you use strategic absence to increase your perceived value and power? This law is about the economics of presence. Familiarity breeds contempt. If you are always available, always seen, always talking, you become common. You become just another part of the background. By making yourself scarce, you create value. You force people to talk about you. Your silence makes them wonder what you're thinking. And when you do return, your presence has impact. Example: think of A-list celebrities or famous artists. They don't post on social media 20 times a day. They disappear for a year. Then they announce a new album or movie, and it's a massive cultural event. Their absence builds anticipation and respect. You can apply this on a smaller scale by not always being the first to reply to a text or join a meeting. Law 17. Keep others in suspense. Cultivate an air of unpredictability. Are you too predictable? Is your daily routine an open book? What's one small thing you could do this week to break a pattern and make people think? Humans are creatures of habit. We feel comfortable when we can predict your next move. It gives us a sense of control. When people can't predict you, they feel unsettled. They are always on the defensive. They have to watch you, analyze you, and try to figure you out. This gives you the initiative. They are reacting to you. Modern example: think of a famously unpredictable CEO or leader. When no one knows what they'll do next, buy a company, launch a product, send a wild tweet, It keeps competitors, markets, and even their own staff on their toes. They control the narrative because they are the only ones who know the script.
Law 18. Do not build fortresses to protect yourself. Isolation is dangerous. Who in your life tells you the hard truths? How do you make sure you're not isolating yourself from uncomfortable information, even when it's painful to hear? This is the counter law to Law 14. Many people, when they feel threatened or gain power, want to hide. They build a fortress, surrounding themselves with only trusted yes men, hiding in their corner office or cutting off old friends. Green says this is a fatal mistake. Isolation cuts you off from vital information. You can't see what's coming. You become an easy target and you lose touch with reality. Modern example. This is the CEO in Ivory Tower syndrome. A leader fires everyone who disagrees with him. Soon they are surrounded only by people who tell them what they want to hear. They are totally isolated from bad news and a changing market, and the company blindsides itself into bankruptcy. Law 19. Know who you're dealing with. Do not offend the wrong person. Before a negotiation or confrontation, do you do your homework? Can you read the person in front of you and identify if they are a wolf in sheep's clothing? This is one of the most essential laws. Not all people are the same. You must be able to read the room and identify the types of people you're dealing with. If you offend a proud and arrogant man, he may lash out. But if you offend a quiet, insecure, and vengeful man, he may say nothing and wait years for the perfect moment to destroy you. Green warns never to assume everyone will react to your actions as you would. Modern example. Think of a viral customer service interaction. A manager at a store deeply disrespects a customer. They didn't realize that this customer was a vlogger with 10 million subscribers. The customer posts a video and the company faces a PR nightmare. They offended the wrong person. Law 20. Do not commit to anyone. In a conflict at work or in your friend group, do you feel pressured to pick a side? What power could you gain by strategically remaining neutral and objective? It is the fool who always rushes to take sides in a quarrel. When you stay independent, you remain in control. You make other people compete for your affiliation. By committing to one side, you instantly make enemies with the other. But by remaining neutral and uncommitted, you hold all the power. Both sides must court you. Both sides must try to win you over. Modern example, a key independent contractor or a swing politician. By not being fully committed to one company or one political party, they become incredibly powerful. Everyone needs their support, so they get to name their price, set their terms, and maintain their freedom. Conclusion or outro. From the social infection of Law 10 to the strategic independence of Law 20, these 11 laws are a master class in human nature. They teach us that power is a game of psychology. It's about managing perceptions, controlling your emotions, and above all, understanding the self-interest of others. The world is a game of power, and knowing these rules isn't about being evil. It's about being prepared. It's about not being a pawn in someone else's game. So my question for you is, which of these 11 laws hit you the hardest? Which one do you see playing out most in your own life? Let me know in the comments below. If you found this valuable and want to continue your mastery, make sure you subscribe and hit that bell. In our next video, we'll dive into laws 21 through 30, and they only get more intense. Stay sharp, stay in control. Subscribe for more.